Welcome back to the channel Reclaiming Your Masculinity. My name is Ray. Let's begin with this video. The two types, of women that nobody talks about. Not men and not women who talk about it. Just a few who open their eyes. Now when you talk about types of women, the first thing people will say, there is no type of women, it's just women. But in the case of a man, then all of a sudden, there is a good guy, a bad guy, a simp, basically people associating a good guy with a simp, or a soy boy, beta male, nice guy, any kind of name you can give it to him. Of course, people think that the good guy is, the softy guy. You can check out my video that I made about what a good guy really is. That will enlighten up a bit. But they have all kinds of names. And of course you get narcissists, etc. But in the case of woman, it's just a woman. And if you say otherwise, something bad will happen. They'll try to shame you or whatnot. So here I'm gonna shed some light that will make me become the bad guy, but I don't care, because I'm going to do something that a lot of girls don't like, and that is exposing their nature along with anything else, and along with the good girls that of course need to be recognized. So then we have, just like there are good men and bad boys, there are also good women and bad girls. Yeah, people do understand the concept of a bad girl, but they make it seem like the bad girl is some kind of a naughty one. When I'm talking about the bad girl, I'm talking about the over-sexualized, hypersexual female that is playing with feelings, manipulating, gaslighting, using sex as her weapon against the weaker man, to get what she wants, to abuse, set people against others, so on and so forth. That is the kind of bad girl I'm talking about. Compare that to the good women who don't have this horrible, disgusting personality that you cannot stand for a second. Then we also have female simps, the women who just will clean up or lick the road that you're stepping on, that you're walking through, that you're cycling through, anything. We get nice girls, the girls who are unfamiliar with the dating scene. They try to get a man, but they don't understand a thing or two. And of course, the fully grandiose, narcissistic females. Basically all the bad girls, as I just say. But there is a problem. These things are being ignored, silenced, shamed, fake, debunked. Of course, you will see people say, well, there's not that this is all just a lie. They're not giving some solid foundation why it is wrong or whatever. All they're doing is some distraction and, let's say, beating around the bush. Just like saying, well, Ray, can you tell me about the weather today? Well, yeah, the weather is, something you can feel, and it can be pleasant or unpleasant, instead of being straightforward and say, well, it's going to be 34 degrees Celsius today. See? So that is a problem. And as long as these things are not being discussed, people will assume that whatever, which is now in this case of the red pill community, they will talk about female nature. Now the female nature that those guys talk about is basically nothing more than narcissism, which means that the girls they're talking about are not the good girls, but the narcissistic females, but they put them on one whole pile, generalize them. And that is something that we need to stop. We need to put them in a category, so these girls will also feel shame about who they are. That's a good start. But a second, also for other men, so they can understand, like, okay, so I made the wrong choices, huh? So it's not just a woman that is wrong. No, I made a wrong choice because I chose the wrong woman. Now, why did I choose her? Maybe I can reflect upon it. Of course, there are guys who won't reflect upon it and will still blame. Well, those are the childish ones, and they deserve the bad girls because they fit with each other. So, then we have the next one. Why do people not categorize women? And there's basically two reasons. Fear and ignorance. Fear because many are afraid that you're able to understand the difference, and the many are basically the bad girls. And a lot of them. Some of them do not care. They have no desire to be, let's say, they have no desire to defend it because they don't care that people know who and what they are and how they are. They just want their thing and that's it. So many are afraid that you're able to understand the difference and choose and avoid based on that information accordingly. That means a lot of bad girls who pretend to be the good girl, who gaslight the audience, the public opinion, telling that they have been always abused by the wrong guy and never take accountability for the horrendous treatment of the guys they gave. The horrible treatment they give guys. The gaslighting, the lies, etc. Not only playing the victim. And that will hurt them on the long run because eventually they'll be so unlikable that people will avoid them and they'll end up with a lot of cats. Perhaps a cat of 60 or 70. Which means that the bad girls will only be left to be used and that's it. Now a lot of guys, especially the bad boys, of course they may be fit for each other, but unlike the good girls and good guys, the bad boys and bad girls will never stay with each other. Eventually they will break up because a lot of stuff. Now, faking a good girl personality will no longer help since people will see right through it, as I said. And then ignorance. People rather put them in one whole category because they assumed indiscriminately. Somewhere this information has been shared and without thinking logically about it, the first thing they do is you say, you know what? I'm gonna take that information without thinking logically about it, and from ignorant to ignorant guy, to other ignorant guys, to more ignorant guys and girls, and then you will have people who will just assume indiscriminately everything you say about this. That there's just one type of woman, while there's proof everywhere that there are more types of women. So, we're gonna go to this part which is extremely important and decides how your life is going to be. And that is the right choices, because life is about the right choices. Freedom of choice was not there for no reason. It was there so we can make either the good or a bad choice. But the consequence will always be there. And selecting the right partner is one of them. That goes for both men and women. I don't care if you're gonna play the victim like, oh, that's not true. You can never know whenever somebody's gonna show the true face. Of course you can. It's called taking your time to know somebody. Everything people want to do is rush, 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 rush. And rushing will make you do terrible things, will make you draw the wrong conclusions, because all it spells is impulsive behavior. And of course you're gonna meet the wrong people who are gonna play on your feelings, who are gonna make you feel good, who are gonna make you release the dopamine in your head. And eventually you're gonna be stuck up with somebody for a long time who's going to abuse you, who's going to hurt you, who's going to make you feel horrible, who's going to gaslight you, who's going to make your life miserable. And by the end of the day, you'll have a trauma, because a lot of people have PTSS or PTSD. PTSD is Dutch, by the way. PTSD from their relationships, from their past relationships, because they cannot move on from that. They have so much pain, so much suffering, that trauma will eventually hurt them on the long run, and they will have trust issues, so on and so forth. So just like women are not free from blame in their choices of the wrong man, you are also not free from blame as well. I wrote as well wrong, by the way, but don't matter. You understand. See, a lot of girls think that they can shift the blame on men. Oh, the men are evil. Well, the guys are doing not the exact same thing right now. And all I'm seeing is, no, women are bad. No, men are bad. No, women are bad. No, men are evil. No, women are more evil. Yeah, and the Easter Bunny is purple with golden spots and lays, ostrich eggs, like those big eggs. And if you hatch it, a cow is gonna come out. Yeah, make that the catbouwwijs in Dutch. Selecting is done through the right choices, understanding and future planning. Making the right choice also means understanding the right choice. If you're going to go for a life partner, you have to take your time. You need to know if there are red flags, what is her background, her history, how did she treat men, how was she treated, how was her relationship with her parents, how was her relationship with her friends, what kind of friends she has, etc. And then future planning. See through her behavior if this is the kind of woman that is going to be the mother of your future child if you want to have children. If not, how is this person going to be a great partner for me from now on 10 years? And then you'll come to the conclusion that you will have to take your time. You cannot rush anything. If you're going to rush, hey, keep on complaining, keep on blaming, but you will stand on the right same spot from now on 10 years later. Why? Because you refuse to self-reflect. You refuse to understand. You refuse to make the right choices. You refuse to take accountability for your choices and actions. And that is your own doing. Because the type of woman and the type of women will decide whether your home is a stressful environment or a pleasant one, whether you're happy or unhappy, whether your needs are either fulfilled or unfulfilled. And the choice is yours. And with this, I end this video. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section or send me an email at reclaimingyourmasculinity@hotmail.com, and I will see you tomorrow in the next video. Thank you for listening and have a good night.